When a student will, when a student, a person who takes an interest in a particular subject, should be forced to learn something based on their age, that is the time when we know that the curriculum is is on their feet, is on their ground, is paralyzed just because of the curriculum that really stuck on this mind of you have to learn something based on your age, based on your class. And this is why, ladies and gentlemen, this house should and would arrange students in classrooms based on their intelligence and academic performance rather than their age. Let me remind you the status of this. We are ranked 116 out of 189 nations on educational sites. And then we are left behind 128 years by advanced countries. By this, will any changes, big changes by our curriculum based on the age of the students could improve or could become a practically drastically changing environment to all the students, ladies and gentlemen? That is the first question. Secondly, the students. Why will we limit the age of students as a preference in order to receive an education or a knowledge? Ladies and gentlemen, this is a wrong side of the story. Why? Why should we limit them? Why would we limit the age of, should I say, the golden age of them, the 12 to 15, the 8 to 12, the 12 to 15? They are the youngest students. They are the one who's really absorbing the material behind them, who's really absorbing the material all around them. They're absorbing the knowledge. They are interested to anything, with particularly. Based on their interest, they want to learn something, ladies and gentlemen. So why should we force them to receive a class, to receive an education, to receive a subject of learning based on their class? You are not a 12th grade, so you shouldn't supposed to learn about this chemicals. You are not 15 years old. You shouldn't supposed to learn about this kind of thing, etc. So it kind of wrong side of the story that really tells us about how unfit how unfit really are, how desperate this curriculum goes on by looking at the age of the students as our base preference to become, oh, when you're 15 you should supposed to learn this, when you're 12 you're not supposed to learn this. And their golden age, when we know that a kid who's really good at something, but then because of the education, because of the curriculums, wouldn't allow him or will allow them to become a better minded person by their own interest, by their own divining, by them divining themselves with, I'm interested in learning this. It's kind of become personal matters for the students, because they cannot learn something that they are interested to because the preference of their age. Secondly, why would we gather many students with diverse talents and our subject of scoring are based on intelligence and academic? Let me put you into perspective. There are five animals that are needed to be scored as which one is the smartest animals. There are fish, elephant, lion, tiger, and a monkey. But then the subject of the scoring is to say, okay, who will swim better in the seas? Who will swim better in the river? And then as for all of us know that the only animals that could swim better than any animals in this group is the fish. And thus why the subject of the scoring didn't really matters, because we know that the one that will have the higher scores rather than any animals in this own category is the fish. Same goes to the classrooms. There are 30 students, but then they are forced to learn the same things with each other. One student who's had a talent in art, they had a talent in speech, they had a talent in debating, but then they are forced to learn about chemicals. they are forced to learn such as they're forced to learn an intelligence based learning such as chemicals, biology, and math. They are forced to learn that while they have their own interest to such they have their own interest to debating, they have their own interest to speech, then why should we really carry on this curriculum to become, oh, every 30 students in this classroom should really learn about this? Why? It's because this is the basics of our learning about our curriculum. While we know that the better academic and intelligent performance students will perform better rather than the more versatile art students and more versatile speech or debater students. This is why the curriculum really stands out as the worst base of our education, and thus why this house should arrange students in classrooms based on their intelligence and academic performance rather than on their age. And then, more clear is that they will divine themselves. You know this. When they really have their intelligence and academic performance really high compared to others of their age, we know that these students will become something in the future. We will say like professor or maybe technicians, while the others one that really didn't have enough high scores of academic intelligence will be versatile, probably will be versatile in other categories such as we would say like debating or maybe speech. And that's why we should say that if someone or students with their age of 12 maybe or 15, but they could really absorb faster rather than to be compared as other students in their class, we should say that when they divine themselves to become one of the highest of the one of the high scoring academic and intelligence students, we should say that we can put them further go without limiting their age to become a factor of, oh, you shouldn't supposed to learn this anatomy of this body, oh, you shouldn't supposed to learn this chemical of colors, because why? Because you are 12, you don't supposed to learn this. But then this kind of program could put us further with the major improvement. When I said earlier we are left behind 128 years, we could reduce these numbers by doing this practically, drastically major improvement with gathering the students based on their intelligence and academic performance, rather than limiting their age as the main factor of you shouldn't supposed to learn any of this because you are not the right students to do this. So I should support this because the house should arrange students in classroom based on their intelligence and academic performance rather than on their age. Thank you.